press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, so today I am here with you with this lesson, okay, where I have stopped in the last class. The name of the lesson is I Want Something in a Cage, which was written by Ellie Grieve, okay. So in the last class I have stopped like how the Mr. Purcell, I have described the physical appearance of Mr. Purcell and what is the daily routine of this Mr. Purcell, because he is the owner of a pet shop, okay. And the day where he has observed and he has sensed that there is a something like unusual, okay, there is a unusual in his shop, because when the customer arrived in his shop, he felt like the doorbell has not rang, because whenever any customer arrived in his shop, the doorbell will ring, okay, but that day it has not. So why it is? So then he sensed and something like awkward, like here the air the room which was the stranger came into his shop, and he sensed something like the smell where the long time the house was haunted with the ghost, and the smell is like that, okay. So it means that where it was like a room or any houses which was closed for a long time, at that place there is some smell remain, the odor remain, okay. So that man has somewhat like this, okay. So he has like a the smell which is very it is like he is in that particular place where he has not came out for a long time, okay. So that gives here the sense of a ghost, okay. So this is, so then, and this man has arrived like Mr. Purcell has understood that, so he has not liked, I mean the stranger, he came and he just not talking to the Mr. Purcell, he just looking everywhere, and in the first glance the Mr. Purcell understood that this man is hating to me, okay. His instinct would said him that this man has not liked me, he is hating me, so that's why he is just behaving like this. Who sensed it? Mr. Purcell. But it's duty, okay, it's his duty to welcome the customer, and he can greet the customer, and then he has to offer that whatever he has in his shop, okay, for a selling. So then he just got up and he then he went to the stranger, and the conversation began with the stranger and the Mr. Purcell, okay. Let's see here. The man's shiny shoes squeaked forward. His suit was cheap, ill-fitting, but obviously new. He had a shuttling glance and close-cropped hair. So this man, his eyes are shining, okay. His eyes are very bright and it's shining, and his suit, whatever the suit he has wore, it is very cheap, okay. Who that stranger wore whatever the kind of a suit he has wore it, so it is like a cheap one, okay, it is not branded one, and it is like ill-fitting. Ill-fitting means when he has wore the coat, it is not suitable for him, okay, it is like a very ill-fit, but obviously new, but that suit is very new, okay. Then he had shuttling glance and close cropped hair. So he just glancing everywhere, and he had a short hair, okay, which means close cropped hair means which is very short hair. Ignoring Purcell for the moment, he rolled his gaze around the shadowy shop. So he just ignored the Purcell, he is there, okay, he just ignored the presence of Mr. Purcell. He just glancing over his shop, okay. Then a nasty morning, volunteered the shopkeeper. Okay, so I have told you some of the words like shopkeeper, storekeeper, and owner of the shop, which means the same here for the Mr. Purcell. Okay, these words you can use for the Mr. Purcell when you describe about Mr. Purcell. So this is, and now a nasty morning. Nasty morning means unpleasant morning. It's a bad morning. Okay, so for Mr. Purcell it was like a bad morning to him, that's called a nasty morning. Volunteered the shopkeeper. He clasped both hands across his melon-like stomach and smiled importantly. Okay, he crossed his hand on his stomach. Melon-like means his stomach is very fatty one. Okay, so It's like a melon stomach. Here he's just rubbing the hands on him, then his hands, and then he's putting his hands on the stomach. But then also, because he is not liking that stranger, okay, because the daily routine, whatever you do in some of the place, when the customer arrives, so you can observe the customer how they behave, but the stranger behavior, it is not suitable, it is not good one. So this has understood by the Mr. Purcell. Even though he has to welcome the stranger and welcome the customer, and he has to say that, okay, whatever he had a pet in his shop, he has to offer him, okay. So this is, and then, but it is very important, he has to attend that customer. Although he is not liking the stranger, he has to attend that customer, okay. I see by the paper we are in for a cold spell. Now what was it you wanted, okay. So I was reading, I just read my paper, so I didn't see you. So what you wanted now? So he asked the question to the customer, the stranger. The man stared closely at Mr. Purcell as though just now aware of his presence. He said, I want something in a cage. See, when he said like that, what do you want? So then that stranger, he just observed the Mr. Purcell, that now he can sense that presence of the Mr. Purcell, okay. Mr. Purcell, then he says that, who said this? That stranger, the customer who came to the Mr. Purcell's shop, he said like this, I want something in a cage, okay. So like this he said, something in a cage? Mr. Purcell was a bit confused. You mean some sort of a pet? Okay, so now this man has called like this, means he said like this, I want something in a cage. That means something like a different question he asked to me. Okay, something in a cage, that means you want a pet in a cage? So he asked, some sort of a pet? I mean what I said, snapped the man. Yes, what you are saying, that's my mean. I mean what? Something in a cage, something that is small. I want something in a cage and that is something small. Okay, like that he is describing the animals like a pet in his shop, okay. Who says this? The stranger said like this, I see, hastened the storekeeper, not at all certain that he did. Okay, the shopkeeper, okay, I see. It means you need something in a cage and something which is small. I see now. So now he said that, hastened the shopkeeper. And then his eyebrows narrowed gravely and he pursed his lips. Now let me think, a white rat perhaps? I have some very nice white rats. Now these are the expression of Mr. Purcell. What he has done here, his eyes were narrowed. His eyes were narrowed. Oh, what he want. And then he pursed his lips and then he said, let me think. Now let me think, and I have some white rats for you. So he said, a white rat perhaps? I have some very nice white rats. Okay, so like this he said. He offered the white rats to the stranger because he is asking something he wants in his cage and something he wants a small pet. Okay. No, said the man, no rats. So that man said, no, I don't want rats, no rats. Something with wings, something that flies. Okay, something that wings, something I want which is having that wings and that could fly. Okay, so like this he said. A bird, explained to Mr. Purcell. Oh, you need a bird. That means you want a bird. Okay, then. A bird's all right. So the customer pointed suddenly to the suspended cage which contained the two snowy birds. Doves, how much for those? So when Mr. Purcell said, you need a bird. So then he accepted, yes, a bird. Then, all right. Then the customer pointed suddenly to the suspended cage. There are a cage and he was just pointed at that. I want that birds. So what are the two birds that? That is a snowy birds. Okay, that is doves. So that is snowy means it is white color. Okay, that birds which is in white color and that are the doves. And then he asked what is the cost of that birds, that doves. 550. Came the prompt answer, and a very reasonable price. They are fine pair, said the Mr. Purcell. So he asked the cost of that doves. Okay. So then he said it's a 550. So the cost of that doves, the pair means there are two doves. So you can say that is a pair. Okay, so the cost is 550, and he said very prompt answer, and then it's a very fine birds. Okay, then it's a reasonable price. The price is very reasonable. So like this he says 550, came to the prompt answer. Sorry, 550. The man was obviously crestfallen, disappointed. Crestfallen means disappointed. So that man who came to his shop, he was, when he heard that, so the cost of that dose was the 550, so he felt disappointed. Why? Because that cost is very high. Okay, I think he doesn't have that much of money, so he just be disappointed when he heard the price of that doves. He hastily produced a $5 bill. I would like to have these birds, but this is all I have got, just $5. Okay, and he said, like hesitantly, he said like, I have only $5. How much he had, that stranger, that customer? Only $5. He had only $5, and then I would like to have these birds, but I want these birds only. Okay, I don't want any other birds, but this is all I have got. Okay, so I want only these birds, but I have only the $5. Just a $5. I have only $5. He said like this. Mentally, Mr. Purcell made a quick calculation, which told him that at a 50-cent reduction, he could still reap a tiddy profit. He smiled magnanimously. Okay, so what he did, the Mr. Purcell. So Mr. Purcell, when he this stranger, the customer asked for a $5, so suddenly he made a calculation in his mind. Is it worth for this Mr. Purcell, or is it that will be the loss for him? Okay, then he just calculated, because he is a businessman, so he has to calculate it, that how much the cost he has spent to purchase this doves. Okay, and then he wanted to sell this doves also. So he has to calculate it in his mind. And next, what happened here? And he reduced the 50 cent. Okay, so how much the cost is? 550. Okay, $550. Then it has reduced up to 50 cent. And now that man, he has only $5. Okay, he had only $5. So now he smiled. Mr. Purcell smiled that, okay, if he reduced the 50 cent also, it's not a loss for him. Okay, so he get a profit. At least he gets some of the profit. It is not like the loss of his business. Okay, so he just decided, and he ready to sell this doors for a $5. Okay, to that person. My dear man, if you want them that badly, you can certainly have them for $5. Okay, so he said like this, Mr. Purcell. Yes, my dear man, so you need this very badly, you need these doves. I will give you this doves in a $5. Okay, so like this he said, I will take them. He laid his $5 on the counter. So that man, stranger, he said, yes, it's decided, I'll take that pair of birds in a $5. Okay, and he was put his $5 on the counter, on the table. Mr. Purcell tottered on tiptoe, unhooked the cage and handed it to his customer. The man cocked his head to one side and listening to the constant chittering, the rushing scurry of the shop. That noise, he blurted, doesn't it get you? Okay, so now what happened? Mr. Purcell went nearer on tiptoe. Tiptoe means with a very quickly and very in a tiptoe manner. He just went to the cage and he just unhooked the cage and then handed it to the customer. Okay, so he unhooked the cage and he handed over the customer, and then man cocked his head to one side. So suddenly he took a cage in his one side and he's listening the constant sound of the birds. It's a rushing, scurry and chirping, chittering sound. That noise, so he's irritating with that noise. Who? The stranger. That noise, he blurted, doesn't it get you? So you are not disturbed with this noise. And noise? What noise? Who said this? Mr. Purcell looked surprised. He could hear nothing unusual. So that noise, the chittering and that the chirping noise in the shop, so it doesn't make any kind of unusual for the Mr. Purcell. But this stranger, he just feel very irritated. Okay, irritated with that noises, with that noise of the birds. Okay, but he is very normal. Who? That Mr. Purcell, when he was hearing this sound here. The customer glared. I mean, all this caged stuff drives you crazy, doesn't it? Doesn't it? That customer, again he was glad. Okay, he just glared and he said, all this stuff what you have collected in your shop, the noise, it has not made you crazy. Okay, crazy means you will not get panic, mad because of the noise. So they like this he said. Mr. Purcell drew back. Either the man was insane or drunk, he said hastily. Yes, certainly I guess so. So suddenly when the stranger said, and Mr. Purcell, he was doing something and suddenly he turned and he said, I think this man is insane. Insane means mad. Okay, the stranger who came as a customer, when he called that the noise is making irritated to you, how you are in this place. So then he turned and said, maybe this person is drunk. Otherwise he is a mad. Who thought this? Mr. Purcell thought that about that customer. Okay, then again just wanted to stop that conversation. Yes, certainly I guess so. Yes, sometimes I feel very irritated, so but it is okay like this. He was responded to the stranger. Listen, the staring eyes came closer. How long do you think it took me to make the $5? Then the merchant wanted to order him out of the shop. So listen, again he started continuing. The staring eyes come closer. So whose eyes? That stranger. He come to closer to the Mr. Purcell, and again he said, how long do you think it took me to make the $5? Means, do you think that the $5 what I have purchased for the dove, what I have paid you for the doves, do you think that how many time I have to work for that $5? So suddenly Mr. Purcell was he was very shocked. Why this person is asking then? Then Mr. Purcell said this. What he said? Merchant wanted to order him out of the shop. Who is the merchant here? Again, merchant is the Mr. Purcell. So merchant, then shopkeeper, storekeeper, then owner. So these are the words for Mr. Purcell. Okay. So he was ordered him, just get out from the shop. Okay. Now he is getting irritated. Who? This Mr. Purcell. Because he is asking more and more questions, which is he not liked. Who? The Mr. Purcell. Okay. And he said to out of the shop. But oddly enough, he couldn't. So he said in oddly, but that man, he couldn't went out of the shop. He heard himself dutifully asking, why, how long did it take you? So, but Mr. Purcell again, he made himself, okay, he should be relaxed. And again he asked the question to him. So why? What happened? How long time you take for earning of $5? He asked the question to that stranger, okay, that customer. The other laughed 10 years. So the customer laughed 10 years. It takes me to earn the $5. See, 10 years he took that much of time to earn the $5, and now he spent all of his money on that doves. Okay, then at hard labor, he has done very hard labor. Hard labor means hard working to earn the $5 for 10 years. 10 years to earn $5, 50 cents a year. So he was calculated. Who? Mr. Purcell. So 10 years you took $5 to earn, and for a year you earned only 50 cents. So like this he said. He laughed and said, who? The Mr. Purcell laughed and said, it was best. Purcell decided to humor him. My 10 years, that's certainly a long time now. So it is very best. Actually, it's very great thing you have earned for 10 years and now you are spending on this. And he said that in humor means in mocking way. Okay, in funny way he said like that, my 10 years, oh my God, you have earned for 10 years for $5. That's certainly a long time now. Actually, that's very long time, he said. Mr. Purcell said this. And then they gave you $5, laughed the man. And where you have heard working earlier, so they gave you $5. Again he said with the laughing. Who? Mr. Purcell. And a cheap suit and tell you not to get caught again. Okay, and you have wore the cheap suit not to get get caught again. Caught again means here this man has prison in a jail. Okay, here it is not explained, but actually this man, because of his gesture, because of his the way of talking with the Mr. Purcell, and he needs the birds and all, I think this person is in a jail. Okay, so 10 years. Who will pay the $5 for 10 years? Okay, but you know, in the jail, in the prison, so the criminal who is doing the crime, so for them they have to do the hard work. With that hard work, they only get the small amount of money. Okay, so this is the thing. I'm just telling the story behind that customer, because why this is happening. At the end, you should not we should not end the lesson in a doubtful manner. Okay, so I just given a hint to you that Mr. Purcell mopped his sweating brow. Now about the care and feeding of your doves I would advise. So Mr. Purcell, he gets sweating. So he just mopped. Mopped means he just cleaned his sweat, and then he said, he given advice to the that customer, and he said, now about you care. Now you care about yourself, and now you should have to feed. Feed means you have to take care that doves also. Bah! The man swung around. Swung means he just given a sound for that doves, and swung around. He just turned around and just given the gestures and stalked abruptly from the store. And Purcell sighed with sudden relief. He waddled to the window and stayed out. So that man went out of the shop, and suddenly he just swung in the air. Okay, swung in the air, and suddenly the Mr. Purcell, he just shocked, and he was looking outside from the window. So what this man is doing? He waddled means to walk with the short steps. Who this Mr. Purcell? Just outside, his peculiar customer had halted. He was holding the cage, shoulder high, staring at his purchase. Okay. So when he was looking from the window, he saw that the stranger was holding the cage in his hand, which is very high, and he was open that cage the door. Okay, then staring at his purchase, he's just looking at the purchase, what he has purchased from the shop. He's just looking at it. Then opening the cage and reached inside and drew out one of the doves, he tossed into the air. So he just opened the cage door, and he was looking into that, and he was tossed. Okay, so he took a dove in his hand, and he just tossed the dove in the air. Okay, he drew out the second and tossed it after the first, and he took the second dove also, and he tossed into the air that second dove also after the first one. They rose like a wind blown balls of fluff, and were lost in the smoky grey of the wintry city. They just rose like how wind blown, like how the wind blows in the air. So these two birds were flying in the air like a fluff. Okay, the sound which is producing by the wings, by the doves, and were lost in the smoky grey. You know, the huge weather means the day which is covered with the smoky grey. Okay, so in that it was disappear. Who the two doves were? They have flied. They were flew. Wintry city. For an instant, the liberator, silent and lifted gaze, watched after them. Then he dropped the cage. Okay, who is the liberator here? The customer. Underline that. The customer, the stranger. These are the words for that person. Okay. So liberator, he just looking into the doves, and later he just put the cage on the ground. Okay, on the drop. He dropped that cage. He showed both hands deep in his treasure pockets, hunched down his head and shuffled away. So he put the two hands on his pocket, and he put his head down, and he just moved away. Okay, he just went away from the shop. The merchant's brow was puckered with perplexity. Then so desperately had the man desired the doves that he had let him have them at a reduced price. So now who is the merchant here? The Mr. Purcell. Excuse me. Now the merchant brows with the puckered. Puckered means wrinkled or unfolded. Okay, his face was wrinkled. So he is thinking. Why his face is wrinkled? Because he is thinking about that man. He just purchased Why he is thinking? He purchased the doves for a $5, and that $5 he just took a 10 years to earn it, and he spent all money on the doves, and he was given a freeness to that birds, and he was tossed the two doves in the air, okay, by taking that doves. So he was thinking with perplexity. Perplexity means by the confusion. With the confused state, he was thinking, who? That Mr. Purcell. So desperately had the man desired, who? To be hopeless. Desperately means hopeless. Okay. So here desperately he just waiting to take that doves, and now he just let him go. Okay, he let him go that, and he reduced the price also for that, and immediately he had turned them loose. So he's thinking all the things, who? The Mr. Purcell, from the beginning to the end. So he just thinking about that stranger. And now what happened? Now why he has done this? Question has arisen in the Mr. Purcell mind. Mr. Purcell muted means he just saying something in a low voice. Did he do that? He felt vaguely insulted. So did he do that? Is it really he has done like this? So he just muted, okay, and then he feels very insulted. Who? The Mr. Purcell. You know why the animal should be? Where is their places? So they should be live in a forest and jungle in a nature. But this Mr. Purcell, he made the prison in a cage. All the animals, they are living in a cage, okay, like a prison. And that man who came to his shop, he is also was living in a prison. So he understood what is freedom. So when he came out from the prison, so he just came first to that pet shop, and he just happy with to let them go, that birds, that two doves. That means it symbolizes the freedom. So freedom is important for not only humans, even the animals also. So there, the Mr. Purcell, he feels ashamed on himself. Okay, so he just insulted him. That man came to his shop to insult him. So how much that freedom is important? Who knows that? The prisoner knows it. Okay, the person who is being in that room, in the room or in a house for a long time, they understand that what is the freedom, and they can utilize it very in a correct manner if they knows it. But for the sake of profit, this Mr. Purcell, he didn't understand that. So what is the need of that animals? Is it? So this is the kind of the story from the lesson, I want something in a cage. I hope that you all are understood from this. Okay, so at the end, what we get from this lesson, what we understand from this lesson, that the freedom is very important. Okay, so for the animals, for the humans. Okay, so when we get freedom, so we can do, when we are not under the control of anybody, so we can do whatever with our life. So your life, we have our life, and we should have to live freely. Okay, so this is the story of this lesson. I hope that you all are understood. At the end, you have some comprehension check. So read it and go through with that this story. And once again, you just check yourself by writing of your answer by your own sentences. Okay, so this is about the today's class. I hope that you have understood it. I hope you don't have any doubts, and if you have doubts, you just write it in comment box. Okay, so we will meet in the next class. Till then, all of you stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Thank you.